I absolutely love wearing madras. The madras connects me. I feel automatically connected to the people of the Caribbean. I feel connected to my family, to our past. And I think it's just such a vibrant fabric. Hi, my name is Jennifer Laurent-Smart, and this is a story behind my Caribbean cultural style. I was born in the UK, in London. My cultural heritage, I consider it to be Dominican because my family are from the Commonwealth of Dominica. My family are from a part of Dominica called Grand Bay. It's a village in the south of the island. It's known as South City, and it's known as the cultural center of Dominica.
Grand Bay is a friendly village. It's very nice. You cannot come to Grand Bay and say, well, nobody like you or they disregard you or what have you. We are very friendly people in Grand Bay.
Grand Bay is just beautiful. It's mountainous, it's green, very lush. My earliest memories, I was staying by my grandma, and I remember waking up in the morning, and her house had little wooden shutters on the windows. And I opened the wooden shutter, and there was a hummingbird hovering outside the window. And when you look past the hummingbird, you can see the mountains in the background. It was just like a fairy tale. It was beautiful. That memory stayed with me. I think my earliest memory of Madras is a doll. Lots of Caribbean women had these little dolls, and they would put them in the national dress. They'd have them around the house or in the living room.
My wife and I, we went to Dominica on a holiday. She saw a little doll with a Madras dress on it. She bought it, and she bought some Madras material. When we came back to England, Jennifer arrested that little doll like it was hers. Nobody else could have it.
Madras fabric, it originates from a place in India, which used to be called Madras, but it's now called Chennai. It is generally a cotton fabric. It's quite a lightweight fabric. It used to be woven on looms, hand woven. You know, they would put different colors in it. When they were first making the Madras fabric, it was more sort of muted colors, more blues. You know, might have reds in there. But now we see, because they're using synthetic dyes, you can use any kind of color to make the fabric. It's evolved over time. In Dominica, we don't have a particular Madras we use. We tend to like anything that's bright and colorful, although you will find a lot of people go for the oranges with greens, and also the reds and greens and yellows together. There are some of the Caribbean islands which have a specific Madras that they use, a specific plaid print. So Montserrat, for example, has a print that uses a lot of green in it. It has marigold, like a yellow, and some white. And again, that's probably because of the connection between island and Montserrat, so the green that comes through from them. In Jamaica, they have a red-based plaid, so it has red and sort of grey and black in it, like a bandana cloth. And then you find places like Guadeloupe, for example, they may prefer some of the yellow madrasses, yellow and reds. It's not a set colour for them, but when you look at some of the things that they are using the madras for and how they use it, you tend to see these colours come through. So madras was exported to the Caribbean. It was used for clothing and for trading purposes. But even before that, it was being used in Africa, being used in West Africa and Nigeria. It was being used in Kenya. If you look at the Maasai people, you see that they're wearing a red plaid fabric, a red madras fabric. And I think just the same way that Caribbean really enjoy using the madras, it also has a significant place for some of the people in Africa itself. So, for example, it marks rites of passage. At the birth of a child, you know, they may be using that madras cloth. Death or the passing of someone, they may be using the madras cloth. It holds significance for different people across there. And also you'll find that some of the tribal groups prefer certain colours of the madras. It will have significance and meaning for them. So in Nigeria, a lot of people quite like the green madras, the one that has greens and the whites, probably because it reflects their national flag. With the madras fabric, it became a commodity that was traded. And so it had value and traded in some cases for the lives of people, and in other times traded for goods, in exchange for goods. Enslaved people within the Caribbean led very restricted lives, and they didn't have access to very much. And so if they were given something, you know, a piece of fabric, a piece of cloth, that's what they had to use to make the most of. That's what they had to use and make it do for what they wanted. Even though women were living in a very, very difficult time, they were incredibly resourceful, and they would take whatever little they had and make something of it. And so if a woman was able to raise a bit of extra cash for herself, perhaps by selling her produce, then she would take that money and go to the market and buy herself a piece of madras cloth, which was colourful and bright. And she'd use that to tie her head or incorporate it into her outfit in another way, so that she would feel special and she'd have something special when she's attending festival or festive events. When madras fabric was being used in the Caribbean, we did more than just accept the fabric as what it was. We added to it. There are people who were specializing in coloring in the madras, so the madras itself might look quite plain, and there's a technique where yellow is painted onto it, and it makes it a very vibrant piece of cloth, which is used as a head tie or sometimes as a shawl. And so we use that madras cloth to make beautiful garments and to make it our own.
This is the pride and joy and the majesty of our country, of Dominica. Beauty beyond compare, from the Isle of Beauty and our Isle of Splendor.
Miss Wabduya is a pageant where young women are encouraged to wear their national dress. It's not just about the looks, it's also about understanding the meaning behind the dress. What does it mean to our culture? What do they understand about Dominica and Dominican traditions? And it's about kind of making sense of it for themselves. So I'm wearing the wabduyet, which is one variant of the national dress of the Commonwealth of Dominica. This wab is made using a madras fabric. It's a cotton wab, so it's quite cool to wear. I think it's quite a modern one, I'd say.
The national wear of the country, the madras made in different styles, one with different energy and gam and attitude and courage and poise, but still portraying the very same energy of our country.
Sakafet London is my clothing brand. Sakafet, it's a greeting, it's an informal greeting saying like, you know, what's up, hi, you know, what's happening, how you doing? It's about promoting our culture through our clothing and allowing us to express ourselves through our clothes and through the colours of madras. I generally only use madras fabric. That's my preference. Part of what Sakafet London does is about promoting the traditional wear, which is sorts of things like this, because I think it's important that we do stay connected to our traditions and our heritage. But the other side of Sakafet London is about working with people to ensure that they can use the madras in a way that they are comfortable with. So using it in modern pieces, using it, you know, just to accent a piece of clothing, you know, maybe on a pocket, maybe at the bottom of a T-shirt, you know, maybe a little crop top or something like that. And that's what Sakafet London is about. It's about evolving and letting people own madras, you know, own it for themselves.
I met Jennifer on my Instagram page. She popped up on my feed, and I've been looking for someone who does cultural fabric for years. I was in her direct messages like, you gotta respond to me, I need a dress, ASAP, I need a dress now.
I originally met Jen on Instagram. I saw an outfit that she made, and my message to her was, I need that jumper in my life.
My mum introduced me to my national dress from when I was a baby. I've seen loads of pictures of me in little jip outfits and other pieces of madras when I was really young. And then as I got older, it's just something that I would kind of seek out myself just to say, oh, can I have a bit of this in my outfit? Just like for my graduation at university, I wanted to have a little piece of madras with me as I crossed the stage.
I know Jennifer from various Dominican events that I've participated in. I met Jennifer at a Windrush event. She was wearing her traditional Dominican dress, and I decided it would be nice to take a photograph of her.
I met Jennifer about 8 years ago at the inaugural meeting of the Waitikubuli Culture and Tourism Initiative Group. That's the WCTI.
From earliest times, she's always been there selling Dominican costumes, waistcoats, and so forth.
I'm a proud St. Lucian, and wearing the cultural clothes is just something that is a must. I introduce it down to my kids as well.
When I wear the Madras and the full Dominican regalia, I feel very proud. I feel very official-like.
I feel proud when I wear the Madras. It just signifies who I am, and it just brings me a lot more closer to home.
Wearing these Madras clothing makes me feel like I'm connected to my Dominican heritage.
So what I'm wearing today is one of the men's traditional outfits.
It's normally a white shirt, the trousers, black shoes.
A beautiful full-length maxi dress. The dress is lined in pink multicolored Madras right around.
And you got your waistcoat and your bow tie.
To show it off, we have the pink Madras on the collar.
I am wearing a co-ord piece that my mum made for me. It's a nice little mini skirt. It comes with shorts at the bottom, so it's nice and modest. So if you bend over, you're not going to have any trouble.
A very long tie belt.
I'm wearing my Madras hat.
So we just got the Madras sash that goes across your chest.
Red cummerbund sash.
It's a kind of a straw hat, and with my Madras material around it.
It's got a really nice top that's off the shoulder, and we've got some nice layers here, some Madras and then some lace underneath it.
And as you can see, I'm also wearing things from Dominica. So this is bamboo, made from bamboo.
It's got the elements of our traditional clothing that we'll wear, but it's just made in a modern way. So you could see this outfit with any of the other big fashion brands. The only difference is it's made in Madras.
And as you can see, I shine my flag.
And I've got my Madras jacket, which you can see is a very nice jacket.
We're not as flamboyant as the ladies.
In my own words, I love Madras because it makes me feel bougie.
Madras makes us happy. Dominicans are happy, happy people.
I love Madras because I like the color.
I'm someone that loves color, bright colors, anything vibrant.
You know, when I wear it, I feel good, I feel proud. I just love it.
I've been able to design some really lovely costumes for Carnival this year. I was designing for 2 mass bands. One of them is a traditional band that's been on the road for quite some time, Duke Mas Dominic, and they have a connection with the Madras fabric through our Dominican heritage. The other band was a band that's new to Notting Hill Carnival, United Kreyol Mas. This was a band that was made up of people from the French-speaking islands, so Guadeloupe, Martinique, French Guyana, and people came from France. It was a Creole-speaking band. What was important to them was to have the Madras in their costumes. Not only did I get to design for them, but I got to use tons of Madras in the design.
During Nottingham Carnival, this is what I've worn, this beautiful costume made by Jennifer from Sakafet, London. I have this beautiful hat with a few Caribbean flowers. Armpiece, you know, it's quite nice when you move. I felt amazing, you know, to see all these costumes together. It was gorgeous to see Madras on the road.
It was beautiful. We had blue Madras, we had the yellow with the red, we had a green Madras, and they teamed it with the Hessian sack because that jute is important to them in their culture as well. It's nice to kind of keep it simple, like, you know, using the Hessian in the design.
How do you call this in English? Because
Hessian.
In French, you say
Sackcloth.
toile de jute.
Yeah, they call it jute as well.
Yeah, okay.
Jute or sackcloth.
You probably know this as this big bag, you know, it's quite strong and it's typical to our heritage, really.
I think that we really don't see enough of the Madras and, you know, people being able to be free and to be themselves. So that's what this does. For me, when I put this on, I feel free. I feel quite liberated. You know, I feel like, you know, this is me. I can express myself. A lot of people from the Caribbean diaspora don't necessarily know Madras even exists. Even now, sometimes people approach me and they'll say to me, you know, oh, wow, that's really nice. What is that fabric? Is it a tartan? I said, no, it's Caribbean, it's Madras plaid, you know, it's our Madras. It's something that we have, and I want for people to become familiar with it.
I think the Madras clothing isn't embraced as much over here because my generation, they've become quite westernized.
I think it is because our national dress, the wob duet, is a bit heavy. The young people want to diversify. They really didn't like it at one time, I understood.
Growing up, a lot of people that move from, for example, back home in most Caribbean islands, it's like when they come to England, they have to transform themselves the English way.
They just want to maybe blend into the crowd.
They have to do things the English way, even though like adopting the English way of talking and that.
I think that the Caribbean people don't wear their traditional clothing because I wouldn't say that they're ashamed of where they come from, but I think they want to be more westernized, more accepted.
They felt like they've had to conform to the values and how you're meant to look in this society, whereas other cultures, they say it loud and proud. You know, at the weddings, they'll have everyone come in their traditional clothing. Caribbean people tend to just say, okay, we've got carnival, that's our celebration, maybe bring out a flag, maybe bring out a piece of Madras. After that, it's just back to kind of like the fashion brands and what's hip over here.
I've got to be a realist, and I think being real to your culture and heritage is important. Always remember where you came from, where you started. And that's why me personally, I would never lose that connect. Originally, my parents are from St. Lucia, as well as my grandparents, but my great-grandparents were from Calcutta. So I'm of Indian heritage, as well as St. Lucian. As well as wearing traditional Madras, I wear Indian clothes as well. My great-grandparents coming from India, they would have worn traditional Indian clothes, but then obviously being introduced into the Caribbean lifestyle, they too would have worn the Madras. So to me, Madras has a lot of meaning behind it.
You don't have to make a whole attire with the Madras, but you know, a little bit of here and there, you know, on your clothing, and there's really some beautiful modern pieces that are, you know, that incorporate Madras. It
can be embraced. It's just a matter of whether you, whoever wants to wear it, wants to embrace that culture.
I think there's much more. There's much more to it. It's a big debate. So what could we do? Wear it.
When I first heard about Cultural Style Week, it was through Instagram. Something just popped up on my feed saying that there was this event that was going to happen, a week focusing on people's cultural style and heritage. And I was like, this is our time.
See Jen, take one.
Guys, I just want to introduce you to this lovely lady called Jen. Hi. So Jen actually reached out to us through our Instagram page, and when I met her, I was like, wow.
It just seemed a perfect fit for what I had been doing and what I tried to do. And I reached out to the Cultural Style Week people, and I was accepted. I've had a fantastic day today, and I really hope to see you all representing out there, wearing your Madras, wearing your jit, wearing your waistcoat, your head wrap, whatever it is, however you're going to represent, make sure you do it during Cultural Style Week this May. From there, it's just been an amazing experience because Cultural Style Week is all about helping people to feel good about themselves and proud about their cultural heritage, proud about their diversity and difference. What makes them unique? What makes their culture special? Why is it special to them? It just was a wonderful opportunity for me to talk about my national wear and what our traditional wear means for the Caribbean diaspora. It gave me the opportunity to introduce people to it. Some people hadn't heard of the Madras fabric or the traditional wear. It was new to them.
Everyone looking at me. That is great.
And it was lovely meeting other people as well. And there was a real cultural exchange that took place through the whole of that Cultural Style Week.
Got it.
It also pushed me to be more out there with my wearing of the Madras, you know. So I was wearing it to work. I was wearing it in board meetings. Every day I made sure that I had something of Madras. And of course, you know, it just makes people kind of look and they, you know, they'll say to you, oh, that's colourful. That's bright, you know, and people say you should do it more, you should wear more of it. I have my own connection with Madras and I know why I like it and what it does for me, but I can't impose that on someone else. I need for them to have their own connection with it, so them to understand what is their relationship with Madras. You know, is it something that they only see the older generation wearing? Or is it something that they can pick up and think, wow, you know, I'm gonna rock this. You know, I'm really feeling good when I put this on or when I wear this.
I would encourage others to explore the traditional clothing by talking to some of their older family members, just in case there's any pieces of traditional clothing that they would have worn that maybe may not be Madras fabric.
If I ever do have children one day, I will introduce them to Madras clothing because it's just important for them to know their heritage. I'll buy them their own Madras clothing so they can see, like, feel how it feels to just wear it.
Go for it, you know, represent your island, represent your country. Don't be shy. And I definitely will be doing the same now, not just during Carnival, but, you know, daily.
Sometimes we need an invitation to wear it. It's like what Cultural Style Week did. It gave that invitation to people to be able to wear their cultural style. And so I think people need to be encouraged. We need to be intentional about it. We also need to allow people to express themselves however they want with it. You know, non-judgmental. If you want to wrap your head with it, if you want to wear it like a blanket, that's your business, as long as you are wearing it, you know, and owning it.